how is your investor journey kind of been going? Is it when people hear, oh, AI cure cancer, sign me up, Handel. Do you want $1 billion? Do you want $10 billion? $100 billion?
So here's an interesting phenomenon. Like it depends. So we're at the intersection of AI and biotech, right? And then the investors who are AI investors and who are biotech investors, there's very little crossover, right? So you have life sciences VCs that invest in therapeutics companies, right? Then you have AI tech companies, and AI tech VCs, they don't invest in biotech because they don't understand biotech. But not only that, the risk profile is insane. They'd be like, I have to spend $500 million before I know if I have a drug and I could lose it all. Like, and there's no revenue in before that. And doing a
You won't
deal,
know for a decade.
right? And you don't want to do a deal because that's seen as bad. Like getting, like you only do an upfront when you need money to keep the lights on. Like otherwise you're signing away potentially this incredible asset, right? And the biotech VCs are kind of like, AI, what's the difference? And I don't understand the difference. Like they only have one question. Do you have an asset? Right. And if you do, okay, show me the asset. I don't care how you got there. Right. But let's see the asset and let's see the data. And it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And the platform that you use to get that asset is only there as sort of like padding for the next sort of act. Like you go public and you got a story on the street. Yeah, we have a platform. No one believes it until you actually have an asset that now what's your next thing? And so we have this platform. So a lot of people, you have a platform, you need an asset to validate that the platform works. And then it's all about the asset, right? So I would say like if I could draw a grid between like biotech, VC, tech VC, two rows and then two columns, one asset model and the other platform model, right? Then it's like biotech and asset, check. Biotech and platform, X. Tech VC and asset, X. Tech VC and platform, check. And they don't match. And so there's a very small rarefied intersection in the Venn diagram where there are some tech bio companies that might be down to play with both, right? And it's so disingenuous because so many companies that are now therapeutics companies started off as platform companies, right? And so, but if you say, yeah, we're a platform, but we're going to do assets tomorrow, then they don't like it. Like you kind of got to play the game, right? You look at like Zymeworks up the street from us, right? You look at AbCellera over there. Everyone started as a platform company, but now they're asset companies. So it's biotech plays this sort of game, and so as we try and raise money, we kind of hit upon that sort of difficulty and being stuck in that sort of no man's land. And we're very grateful for the fact that we had really sort of far-sighted investors who kind of realized that like from a thematic and a thesis-driven perspective, that at some point we'll figure out what the best way to optimize value is. But to a large extent, we're a platform company now. We don't have assets, right? And we're not looking at developing assets in the anytime in the near future, unless it makes sense, right? So the fact of the matter is the ability to stay nimble and as you know, being in biotech, the market is really bad now. It's awful, and ain't no one funding companies. Hopefully, it's starting to change now, but there's been a real sort of dry spell. And if you had a company and you had an asset, going into the clinic, and you needed like a couple $100 million to fund your study, you could have gone public, but not anymore because no one's going public. We're starting very slowly, and people aren't writing checks for $300 million except for in very limited cases. And so, where are you going to go? All these companies are dying, right? And these assets are going to be hung out to dry. And so, the fact that we can run very lean, that we can generate revenue right now without sacrificing our ability to go after certain key targets because of our business model, this is a good thing. And if it ever turns, then of course, hey, we can go after assets, but that's really hard. That's really, really hard. I'm scared, man. It's not for the faint of heart. That's for sure.